Brought to you by the EveryDollar app. Start budgeting for free today.
Normal is broke and common sense is weird. So we're here to help you transform your life. From the Ramsey Network in the Fairwinds Credit Union studio, this is The Ramsey Show. I'm Ramsey personality George Kamel, joined by my good friend Dr. John Delony, and we're taking your calls at 888-825-5225. That's how you join the conversation. Jesse is kicking us off in Minneapolis. Jesse, how can we help today?
Hi. Say, I am calling because I have a freshman daughter new to college, and my husband and I recently found out that she opened a credit card. She knows we're against that. My husband tossed around the idea of kind of giving her an ultimatum that if she doesn't close it, we will not provide her the funds from her 529. And I'm just curious your thoughts on that. We haven't talked to her about that yet, but we're just trying to figure out how to navigate it.
How'd you find out about the credit card?
Well, when she was home on Thanksgiving break, she goes to a college fairly close to home. I saw it in her wallet.
So how do you see it in a wallet without opening said wallet?
She has like a little, it's like a thing attached to her lanyard.
Oh, okay.
And she has her student ID in it, and then her debit card, and then
she doesn't know that
card.
You know at this point.
She does know, because I asked her about it.
Okay. Did she get defensive? Was she like, well, here's why I did this?
Not really. I mean, she didn't get defensive. She was kind of open at first, but then didn't really want to tell me what the balance was on it.
Oh.
Either.
Well, was there an agreement? Hey, well, we're going to pay for school, but you have to go completely debt-free. You're not going to go into debt. You're not going to open a credit card. What was the conversation like?
Well, I don't feel like we ever had a specific conversation, but as she turned 18, I do recall like seeing, credit card offers come in the mail, and just told her kind of like, please don't ever open one. Please don't open one. I mean, she knows we're against it.
So I just want to call out, George, the joy of this show is sometimes people call and they're like, I found cocaine in my son's room. And then I found my daughter has 3 husbands. And then occasionally it's like,
she has the Delta Sky Miles card.
I found a Discover card. It's so great. Okay, so and George, jump in here. Like Jesse, my rule of thumb is always, I expect my kids to explore and press boundaries and see if they hold. Okay? So it's a feature, not a bug. The second thing is there's tons of things that I like and I regularly badmouth to my son, like country music. He loves it. And by the way, I love it. I just like to harass him. How short young teenagers' shorts are. I think shorts should go past the knee to mid-shin like they did in the late 90s. He disagreed, right? So he also knows that me and my wife don't borrow money. That's number one. So I expect him to roll his eyes to say, oh, Dad's into that, but I'm not. And Mom and Dad have a reason for X, Y, or Z. And I'm becoming, he's growing into a late teenager, right? But your daughter's 18. She's a young adult, right? She's turning into her own woman. And so I would say, as someone who's worked with college students my whole career, hearing you say I don't like something is far different than you sitting down and saying, here is an expectation that we have. If you want to accept this, here's the bargain that you're going to make with us.
Mm-hmm.
But you getting upset because y'all have this firm belief about a thing. So take debt off the table. That's too easy. This is the Ramsey Show. Let's say you told her you can drive this car, but in order to drive this car, you have to go to this church. Then she has a choice to make. Do I want this car or do I want this? But it feels to me awfully caustic to circle back and say, hey, we did not give you a firm boundary or a firm set of responsibilities if you're going to take our money. You know how we feel about things. That's fine. That goes into a bucket of a whole bunch of stuff Mom and Dad like and don't like. But this is, if you're going to take our money, here's what our expectations are. You need to make these grades. You got to go to class this much. If you take out debt, then you are choosing to not accept our money.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think if I'm going to sit on a jury here, I'm going to side with the 18-year-old and say, I know mom and dad hate this. Mom and dad hate a bunch of stuff. They weren't, and then to pull out my college funding feels caustic without sitting down and saying, hey, we weren't clear. This is that big of a deal to us, and that's our fault. We weren't super clear on our expectations for you. But if you pull college fund, you take the 529, and by the way, even your language, it's y'all's money, it's y'all's account, but you called it her 529, her college fund, and that's the language she's going to hear, is mom and dad got mad and threw a temper tantrum at a thing I did, and they took away all of my college fund as a way to force me as a young adult to do something. She's going to either A, do it out of spite, or she's going to not do it and you're going to cash out your relationship with your kid.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So it's your money. You can do whatever you want to with this. But man, I think it's the right honorable thing is to sit down and say, we messed this up on the front end. We gave you this huge blessing called paying for your college, and we didn't set our expectations for you choosing to accept this money or not. And so we're gonna reset that.
Okay.
If you think it's worth losing, that feels like
play it out. I'm a future thinking person, so I go,
feels
okay,
like a big...
she's gonna probably go into crippling student loan debt now, and we're gonna lose the relationship. I'm like, this is gonna harm you guys more than it's gonna harm her. I mean, she'll be suffering financially, but you guys are gonna go, was it worth it to teach her the lesson?
Right.
Instead, I would dig in and say, hey, why'd you open the card? Like, what's behind that? What were you hoping to accomplish? Because if it's trying to save up, we can help you do that. If you're trying to get a credit score, we can show you why you don't need that for this stage of your life. And I think getting to the root of it and owning it, like John said, and going, hey, we didn't do a good job setting this up. There was no contract in place that said you lose your 529 if you open a credit card. So it does feel caustic and a little bit reactive. So I would try to just calm yourselves emotionally, have the conversation with her, and then go from there. But I personally wouldn't pull it. And this is the Ramsey guy. If my daughter opened a credit card, I would be heartbroken. Absolutely. Right. But would I pull 2 decades of savings away from her as punishment? I don't think I could do that. I would rather see her stay debt-free on the student loan side and figure out this whole credit card debacle separately.
And here's just sitting with college student parents over the years, I would do everything I could to A, be clear, and B, continue to be a place my daughter will call when, not if, but when something happens. Whatever that something is. A bad grade, a bad event, a scary thing. Shame eats secrets for breakfast. And so the fact that when you said, what's the balance on that card? She said, I'm not going to tell you. That means that 18-year-old didn't feel safe enough to tell her mom. So this might be a great place for you to go out to take her to breakfast one day and say, I haven't fully told you my experience with debt. Here's what happened. Here's what I did when I was 22. Here's how long it took us to pay it off. And this is why it's such a big deal. We love you. We love you. And then if y'all want to say, you want this money, you do this, you can do that.
Hey, it's Dave Ramsey. You've heard me talk about the importance of giving, and I love that Zander Insurance lives that out. This month, Zander is donating 25% of all ID theft protection sales to Team Rubicon, a veteran-led disaster response organization that deploys wherever disaster strikes, boots on the ground, helping families rebuild and offering real hope for communities in crisis. Zander's been supporting causes like Team Rubicon for over a decade, donating over $500,000. That kind of track record shows I can trust them, not just with my money, but helping protect my identity too. Zander's ID theft protection plan is the only one I recommend because, let's face it, identity theft is out of control. In today's online world, it's not a matter of if, but when. Zander's plan is comprehensive, affordable, and you can even give it as a gift. So protect your family and support a powerful mission this Christmas. Go to Xander.com or call 800-356-4282. That's Xander.com.
John is in Boston up next. What's going on, John?
Hey, good afternoon. Thank you so much for taking my call. Big fan of you guys. I just had a quick question in regards to, how should I approach my student loans? I have $94,000 in student loans, and I make a salary of $75,000 a year. The reason I ask how should I approach it is because I work for my local government, and I'm eligible for the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program, and I'm also reading the Baby Steps Millionaires book, and step 2 obviously talks about attacking your loans and going gung-ho. And so I'm just questioning, should I attack my loans and go gung-ho and just go crazy on them? Or should I, take advantage of the loan forgiveness program by working for my local government and making smaller monthly payments and then saving and investing the rest? So just wanted your advice on how to approach that.
Let me ask you this as a guy how long have you been working in local government?
I've been working in local government. It'll be 6 years in March.
Very cool. So when you see what happens at the local level and at the state level and at the federal level, is there anything about your experience, both like your lived experience and what you see going on, that makes you think in any shape, form, or fashion you can predict what any member of any government is going to do in 4 years?
I don't think there's, I don't think I can predict that, Eric.
If you did, I would connect you with our friends at BetterHelp because you'd need a therapist. It's all I know is my lived experiences was working as a dean of students at a law school. And I had some of the most amazing young men and women who had incredible minds, and they chose to not go into private law because they wanted to serve the least of these in their communities. And they chose public service. And they chose public service because of the do this for 10 years and we'll pay off your loans. And the amount of them that got denied over and over and over again made me so sour on this deal. And it comes down to, who do you trust? And in this situation, like based on what you're saying, I trust you way more than anybody making some promise just to get themselves elected or reelected.
Do you have any other debt, John?
No, that's just about it. The student loans is.
Have you actually signed up for the program yet? Like, how far into it are you?
So that's the thing. I'm currently in the master's program. So while I have been working for the state government, I'll be graduating, God willing, in May of 2026. So I wouldn't start until May of 2026.
Okay, and then it's 10 years from that.
It's 10 years from that. Yes. So hopefully.
Okay. So how old are you now?
I'm currently 28.
All right, so let's say like by your 40th birthday, maybe this shakes out.
Or another way to say that, 3 presidential elections from now.
And here's the thing people don't think about, John, because they get starry-eyed that their $100,000 is going to disappear. Number one, your balance will likely grow until that number gets forgiven, and you're going to be making payments that entire time for 10 years. So you need to add up what that's actually costing you. And by the way, the amount that's forgiven is taxable. So you're going to owe taxes on top of that, while the balloon has grown, while you've made payments for a decade, and let's hope that it all shakes out perfectly. And so that's my fear. I'm not like angry against the program. Like, I love to see someone working for their community, have a benefit like that. I just don't think it's worth it.
I love that idea.
Yeah. But for your personal life, John,
love that idea.
Because I'm rooting for John versus like the system, I think you could get out of this debt realistically within 2 to 3 years max if your income doesn't go up. And so the question is, could I like put a little oomph into it and be done in 2 years and have the next 8 be free? Or do I want this living in my head rent free for a decade going, oh gosh, I hope it works out. I'm making that payment again. I hope it works out. And that's my heart for this. I'm rooting. I just believe in John more than PSLF.
I hear that. Yeah, again, I've been using the loan simulation calculator that my loan provider has, and it's not the most. It might not be the most accurate, but it's the closest thing I have using that calculator. And I'm thinking about maybe throwing $2,000 a month at my loans, and the calculator states that, you'll be paid off in, 4.5, 5 years if you just do that.
And that's if you do nothing differently. That's if your income doesn't go up, you don't try to,
Right.
ratchet the expenses down. And I just think when you have that goal to become debt free, all of a sudden you go, I'm willing to make more. I'm willing to spend less, versus kind of sitting on the sidelines hoping that an exterior force changes your life. That's the part that worries me. Because then that's how you operate through life, is you go, well, it's not up to me. I got to find out if there's a program that can fix this instead of John being able to fix this.
And here's another thing that people don't take into that calculation. If you're really good at your job, you know what you're going to have? Tons of opportunities.
Right.
You're going to meet somebody. They're going to want to move across the country to be by their parents when you have twins accidentally. And part of the calculation will not be freedom and not what do we want to do and what cool opportunities do we have in another local government, in the state government, in another state, or in a new for-profit entity. It will be, but I got to stay here for 4 more years. And so there's this never gets taken into the calculation, is a decade of sleepless nights because you are owned by somebody else.
Because now you need that job.
I have to have that job. I'm already this far into it. So I'm going to not do something that could be a good opportunity, not do something that's going to be best for me and my family, not go whatever because I'm stuck in this thing because they have $100,000 set of golden handcuffs around my wrist.
Mm-hmm.
And I just saw my students deal with it. And I don't have, George, you may have it. I don't have any of the data. When I left, it was like 98 or something, some crazy percentage were getting denied.
Yeah.
And so I don't.
It might be 96 now. Like it's slowly.
it might be better now. And let me reiterate, as a taxpayer, I love the idea that my tax dollars go to getting some of the best and brightest minds and hardest working people into serving people in local communities. I love that idea.
Right.
But I don't get to make that choice. And so that's, I mean. Or to put it this way, I went and paid my student loans off as fast as I could. And I was working at universities, was a nonprofit. I qualified for the same program. I worked as hard as I could and got those stupid things done. So it's not just me. I got some skin in the game too. I did that because I just didn't want to be beholden to whatever person in office holding that over whatever thing they wanted to do 10 years from now.
Okay. That's a fair point. I appreciate that perspective, and that is something I don't think I ever took into consideration, just the future landscape of it. So
yeah. And can I throw one more thing at you while you're on the phone?
Yeah.
If you don't have the cash to pay for a master's program, I would tell you, postpone it. Hold off. Because that's yet another set of shackles.
I hate to disappoint you that I'll be finishing that master's program in May of next year. So
you're not disappointing me. I don't owe student loans anymore. But I do know I had 6 figures of student loans and I didn't sleep for years. It made me insane. I had to say no to opportunities. I had to do different things, live in a different house, drive a different car because of that choice I made. So even if you had to submit a letter of I need to take a semester off, and so I can earn some more money, and they may want you as a student, and they're going to give you a scholarship, or they say, great, we'll pick you up next semester. Whatever you need to do, I just want you to know you're not stuck in a track where you have no options. I want you to reclaim your freedom.
Right.
What's the master's in?
The master's in urban planning.
Okay, and that's the exact field you're in. Does it come with a pay bump immediately?
I'm not in the current field at the moment. However, the jobs that I'm looking at do come with a significant pay bump. Once I'm done with the program and get selected for the position that I apply to. Yeah.
So let's say by next fall, could you be making 6 figures?
Definitely low 6 figures. There are, but most likely probably mid to high 90s.
Because I'm just wondering, you got $2,000 you can throw at the debt now. What if you had another $2,000 because of the pay bump, and you kept living how you're living, and now we're debt free in 2 years?
Yeah, I mean, again, that is something I'm taking into consideration. If I do, my intent is, within the next few years or few months to get a significant pay rise. So,
or what if you have 6 or 7 years of working in local government and you have this graduate degree in urban planning, and a construction firm hires you to help them navigate government contracts, and they're going to pay you $250,000, right? So
Now we're talking.
not attaching yourself to this government program 10 years from now allows you to keep all of your options open.
Everywhere you turn this time of year, someone's telling you to swipe a card now and pay later. But that mindset always leads straight to debt and post-holiday stress. Fairwinds Credit Union takes a different approach. They're here to help you win with money. Fairwinds doesn't push credit cards. They help you build savings and stay debt-free, just like we teach, with the baby steps. And to do that, Fairwinds created the Smart Bundle with Ramsey fans in mind. It's more than a bank account. It's a tool to help you live with intention. The Smart Bundle includes a no-fee checking account, a high-yield savings account, and the exclusive Ramsey Be Weird debit card, which says debt is normal, be weird, right on the front. So every time you swipe it this Christmas season, it's a reminder that you're choosing a different path, to spend no more than you actually have, to avoid that January budget hangover, and to be free from debt traps. Go to fairwinds.org/Ramsey to open your Smart Bundle and get your Ramsey Be Weird debit card today. That's fairwinds.org/Ramsey, insured by the NCUA.
Christmas is almost here, and our deals are still going strong. So grab gifts while you can. These prices won't last much longer. Rachel Cruz's kids' books are on sale for just $13. They're a meaningful gift for little ones, fun, easy way to teach them about contentment, gratitude, and generosity. And I'm biased. My toddler's a big fan. And if you're shopping for everyone else too, there's other deals. $13 best-selling hardcovers, including books from myself and Dr. John Delony, $13 career assessments, $12 for Questions for Humans decks, and $7.99 audiobooks and ebooks. Get it all. RamseySolutions.com/store, or if you're watching on YouTube or podcast, you can click the link in the description. Annie is in San Francisco up next. What's going on, Annie?
Hi, guys. How are you doing?
We're
Doing
good.
great.
How are you?
Okay. I would say I'm okay.
What's going on?
So we recently had our daughter, our 19-year-old daughter. She moved out of the house with her boyfriend. She dropped out of school. And in one of the many, well, not one, but a few of the many heated conversations, or I would say arguments that we would have, we will be very clear about what would be removed if she were to go out of the house. And among those, it was removing or not being responsible for her health insurance. Now, she was born with a heart condition. She's been having a few surgeries over the years. And now that open enrollment is going on, I told her that she needed to find a way to be responsible for her own health insurance. The last conversation I had with her, and I told her, you know, you need to look into this. It's almost the 15, and open enrollment is going to come to an end, and we need to see what she's going to do with insurance. She got mad at me. She said, well, why are you doing this? You know you can't take me out of insurance. And I know I can.
What are you trying to accomplish by taking away her health insurance?
So she thinks that living with her boyfriend at her boyfriend's house is just being... She pretty much went out of the house to be free of responsibility.
Is it to be free of responsibility or to be free of you?
Well, I guess free of everything, because being at home, she had to bring me good grades. She had to be at home at a certain time.
Okay.
You know.
So I don't know that it's free of responsibility. It sounds like she wants to, because she's going to have rent and she's going to have to do stuff at this new place, right?
Well, that's my thing. I don't think she's being responsible of anything.
So do you think cutting her off health insurance will make her more responsible somehow?
Especially with a heart condition that you know she's going to need surgery for? Because here's what it sounds like. It sounds like you're less, even more than punishing. It sounds like you are trying to control what an adult does.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Well, it might, but on the other hand, I want her to know that being an adult has a lot with it.
I got that.
If you were like funding her drug addiction, I'd say, yeah, no, this is enabling. Let's cut her off. But access to medical care, I don't think is directly connected to this relationship decision she made. We can agree on that. Right?
Well, yeah.
Because I read The Prodigal Son. I don't know that the dad kicked his son off health care when he left the house with the inheritance. I assume he kept him on the plan, the family plan, and went, all right, hopefully he comes back one day. I can't control him. And lo and behold, he came back. And so I just think there's a piece of this that you might need to let go and then let her test these boundaries. Let her figure this out for herself a little bit. But I don't think the health care should be a condition.
It feels, tell me if I'm wrong, my guess is this conversation escalated. You're going to have to get your own cell phone. You're going to have to pay for your own car insurance. You're going to have to pay for your own gas. And she's like, fine. And then you went with the nuclear option, which is, I know you've got a heart problem. I'm going to pull that funding off the table too. And now it's hard to walk that back. Is that fair? Or did you come out of the gate with that?
Not really, because we, since she was young, we were teaching her on how to be responsible in many ways.
I know, but what you're telling me is you taught her all of these things, and she still doesn't have that message. You get what I'm saying?
See, my mom heart, it's telling me that I should keep covering her health insurance, but at the same time, I want her to know that adulthood has all of this within.
I got you. So all I can tell you is, in this situation, what I would do in my house. And I have a young daughter. If my daughter had a medical condition and she was making what I thought was a boneheaded, idiotic 19-year-old decision, I'm not going to put her life on the line to prove a point. I will sit down with her and say, I love you. This door will always be open for you. You know what I think about the decision or decisions you're making is, and I can't contribute to that. So you're going to be on your own with your car insurance. You're going to be on your own with yourself. Like, I would put those things out there. And I would always have it tethered with, you can always come home. This door is always open for you, and I'll meet you in the driveway with my arms wide open. And I would look at my daughter and say, you've got me as your dad. You got me pinned up on this one. Because you know I'm not going to let you die on an operating table because you don't have any money.
Yeah.
But I need you to hear me say my heart's broken. Not I'm going to keep controlling you and send you off. Because she's 19 making a 19-year-old decision. And does she need to learn that adulthood has responsibilities? Of course she does. No question about it. But I spent my whole career working with 19-year-olds. And they do 19-year-old things. And I'm not going to put my kid in a position. This is me personally. You do what you want. And you are well entitled. You say you're off. You made a choice. You go do it. I'm just telling you, in my house, I wouldn't put that on the block. But that's just me. Okay. I'd be very clear about my boundaries. The question I want you to ask yourself is, what is the ultimate goal?
I mean, we had this conversation with her already, and she knows she can come back home whenever she feels like she can be on herself. Like, whenever she needs us, she can come home anytime.
But she also knows that
rules and restrictions may apply.
Yes, but she also knows the home she would be coming to is so cruel that my mom would rather me not have health insurance than prove a point.
Okay.
Right? And so What kind of home are we coming home to? Not a boundary-free home, not a rule-free home. They're just again, if you called and said, I feel like cutting off her college funding and cutting off her cell phone, if you've sat down and been clear, I'd support you. Go get it. It's your money. Do what you want. Because of the precarious nature of this situation. Let me put it this way. It feels like y'all are playing blackjack and you know you have an ace. And I want to challenge you not to play blackjack with your kid.
Okay.
But that's just me. George, what do you think?
I don't think her prefrontal cortex is fully baked yet, so it feels like a lot to put this on her. And I simply would, right now it's opposing magnets, and you're just driving her further and further away. I would try to flip that magnet around and go, how can I draw her in and show her that I'm truly a safe place for her, and that I truly want the best for her? And that might be a year or two before she has to figure that out, and the breakup happens, and she goes, Mom, I need a place to crash. I messed up. I'm sorry.
And maybe that's the thing you tell her is, I love you enough that when this thing goes south, when it goes sideways, we'll be here. And I'm not going to, when you walk in the door, you're not going to be met with a lecture. You're going to be met with open arms. We know how this ends, and we'll be here. But as for me and my house, I wouldn't put my kid's life on the line at 19 years old.
Finally, mortgage rates have dropped, and you know what that means? People who've been sitting on the sidelines are about to jump back in to the housing market. So if you've been waiting to buy, this could be your window, but you've got to be prepared and do it the Ramsey way. You need to contact Churchill Mortgage. Their Home Buyer Edge program gives you peace of mind in a wild market. You can cap your rate for 90 days, so if rates go up, you're protected. If rates go down, Churchill will drop yours automatically. And get this, Churchill will even back your offer with a $10,000 seller guarantee. So if your loan falls through due to financing, the seller still gets paid. That's how confident Churchill is. Plus, when you shop as a Churchill certified home buyer, it's stronger than pre-approval. It makes you look like a cash buyer, which makes your offer rise to the top. So don't let this moment pass you by. Get ready now. Go to ChurchillMortgage.com to get started today. That's ChurchillMortgage.com.
This is a paid advertisement. Homebuyer Edge and Seller Guarantee are available for qualifying borrowers and select loan types only, and not available in all states or locations. NMLS ID 1591. NMLSConsumerAccess.org. Equal Housing Lender.
Welcome back to the Ramsey Show. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Ezekiel's in D.C. up next. What's going on, man?
Good afternoon. How you guys doing today?
We're doing great. How can we help?
So I owe over $50,000 worth of debt. Most of it is loans, and loans have monthly payments. Some for $330, some for $500, some for $200. So mixing all the monthly bills for these loans, try to keep up with my credit and my everyday expenses, rent, food, and stuff like that, is kind of killing me. I'm really going in a circle, and my goal here is just to pay off my debt, because I make a decent amount of money, but I'm not enjoying it because all my money mostly goes towards paying this debt.
Yeah, you work for your lenders right now because every paycheck disappears to them.
Say that again?
You're basically working for your lenders right now. You're working to provide them a paycheck.
Pretty much.
So how much do you make?
I make $38 an hour on one job. Bring home about $4,400 a month. And I just got a second job making about $34 an hour, and I'm bringing about $2,600 a month. So somewhere under $7,000 a month.
Is one full-time, one part-time? How are you juggling those?
Yeah, one full. They're all 12-hour shifts, so it's 3 12s at one job, the one paying 38, and it's 2 12s at the other job. It's not really good for my health. Yeah. It's not really good for my health. That's another problem. Yeah. So I'm just doing 5 straight 12s a week.
What kind of work are you in?
Monday through Friday. I'm an armed security guard.
Can I just say this? George is going to listen. You're at the right place, and George is going to walk you through a step by step how to do this. All right, but can I just shout you out?
Sure.
Like just guy to man to man here. Like, do you have kids? You married?
No, sir.
Okay, I just want to just shout you out because the word on the street is men don't know how to work and men are all lazy and they're just a bunch of bums and on and on and on. And I hear a guy that probably did exactly what he was told to do on everything. You got to get a new car. You got to get this. You got to get this. And you're not afraid to go work and get after it. And I want to tell you, man, I applaud you. And George is going to give you a path to freedom. Is that cool?
Cool, man. I got to say, I really appreciate that. I worked my tail off.
I know you do, man. I can hear it.
Really
And
That's what gives me hope that you're going to get out
this
of
show
this.
is for guys just like you. I'm proud of you, man. Because you're not scared to George's going to give you a hard path. It's not going to be easy, but he's going to give you a path out of this mess. And I'm proud. I just want to say I'm proud of you, dude. It's awesome.
Appreciate it, man.
So number one, Ezekiel, you need to focus on your four walls first before you pay anything. And that's your rent, your food, utilities, transportation. You can cover all of that, right? With no problem?
Rent. I'm taking notes. Rent,
Good.
food,
I love it. So rent, utilities,
transportation.
food, transportation. Just cover the basics first before you pay any lender, before you do anything else. You can throw insurance in there too. Make sure you're on track for your insurance payments. And you're bringing in $7,000 right now. That's what I heard. That's your take-home pay.
Right.
Are you doing any investing right now?
Not at all. I have a lot of ideas and a lot of dreams, but I have this thought process that I have to clean my plate first.
Amen.
Yes.
Yeah. Good. Because I was going to tell you to stop investing. Because right now, my thought was he might be doing a lot at once. He's trying to save some. He's trying to invest some. He's trying to pay off some debt. He's trying to live. And so you want to focus on debt payoff. Anything above and beyond those expenses we mentioned is focused on debt payoff. And right now, you've got a bunch of debts, don't you? How many separate debts would you say you have?
I would have to say at least 6. I have this silly thing where I think taking out more loans is going to help me take care of the loans that I have already.
That just makes you normal, man. That makes you normal. You ain't crazy. And
when people get desperate, they'll go to desperate solutions.
Yeah, you get sold that all day long, so you're not crazy.
Yeah, and all the marketing is going to be like, oh, Ezekiel, we can help you get out of debt. Take out this consolidation loan, right? So what are the debts? Like you said there's a bunch of loans. What type of loans are they? Car loans, credit cards, personal loans?
I have one credit card for $3,300. It's $86 a month. I have a personal loan for $13,000. That's $330. I have a car note that's almost paid off from where it starts. It's down to about $7,000 from $2,500 over 5 years. But it wants $465 a month, and that's killing me with car insurance. So I'm paying about $800 for my car. I have another personal loan for $8,000, and that's about $250 a month. So
what are all these personal loans for?
All these personal loans, literally just to keep me above ground and try to catch up with all the other loans and damages to my car. And
but what started this whole process? Because you make good money. So what caused a guy making 6 figures to go, I can't pay the bills? Because it wasn't these debts as it stands.
Man, just bad money management. I'm really bad at managing money. I've been trying to do this for so long. I had an idea to move somewhere and stay cheap, but decided to help out some family members. So I moved into a house where I moved into a house where we're renting the house for $3,600 a month.
And you're paying the rent?
I'm not paying it all by myself, but I'm paying.
What's your portion?
$1,500. I'm paying $1,500.
Okay. That's reasonable for a guy taking home $7,000.
But do they expect you to pay all the light bill and all the water because you're the rich one now?
No, I'm literally just paying the $1,500. But I came from a place where I was paying $5,000 and really doing well.
Okay.
And then I came here and now I'm paying.
Well,
$15,000.
you weren't doing well. You were just able to shuffle stuff around on the Titanic a little bit more. But $1,500 is not bad if you make the kind of money.
Here's the hard truth. You're not in a position to help anybody right now. The weak can't help the weak. And I hope and I know that once you're out of this mess, you're going to be a real generous guy because you have a heart to serve and a heart to help. And you do security for a living, and yet your life is so insecure right now.
Yeah.
Your finances are out of control. And the good news is, look, the napkin math says you put $2,000 a month towards your debts, you're done in 2 years. You see how that works?
Okay.
And you're not just scared of hard work,
Yeah.
so put $2,500 and you're done in 3 years.
And then you get
Okay.
excited. You go, what if I did $3,000 a month? Well, that's $36,000 a year. I'm done in 18 months. You see how this starts to roll? And then what will cause you to feel the progress and momentum is using the debt snowball method. And I'm going to gift you every dollar. It's our budgeting app. It's really more than that now because it's going to coach you through this whole process. So you're going to lay out all of your debts in the app, and you're going to focus on the smallest balance. So what's your next smallest debt? What's the balance on it?
I would say the smallest one would be credit card of $1,100. That would be the absolute
Great.
smallest
Done.
one.
That one's done by
Guess
New
what?
Year's.
Within the next 30 days, that $1,100 is going to pass through your hands, and you can throw it and knock out the credit card debt, can't
Done.
you?
Yes.
Done.
Great. So that's one debt freed up. And remember, you freed up the payment on that. So now we can apply that to the next smallest debt. What's the next smallest one?
The next smallest one, I have it all written down here, would have to be something I left out. I took $5,600 out from my 401k as a loan. So that would be the second smallest one.
Okay, and that one will get knocked out within, 3 months?
Be done by March on that one. Sweet.
And so
Yeah.
now you can start to see the progress. You go, okay, I'm actually making progress instead of trying to not, play whack-a-mole here with my debts. And every dollar will lay all of this out very clearly for you. But here's the fact of the matter. You're going to have to keep this income up for a little while longer. But I don't want you doing this. I don't want you working, 5 12-hour shifts for the next 4 years. We can agree on that, right?
Right.
But could you do this for
my
a
lady,
year?
My lady does not like it at all.
Oh, I bet. Well, she doesn't see you. You're a ghost to her. And even when you are around, you're probably not super fun to be around right now.
And you're going to have to tell her, hey, for 24 months, we can't go out to eat.
Date night looks
Right.
different.
For 24 months, we're going to go on walks and hikes and free movies at the local whatever because I'm going to be, listen to this word, I'm going to be free.
We're going to be splitting a Costco hot dog, 75 cents a piece. That's the life you're going to live for a very short time, Ezekiel, so that the next 20, 30, 40 years of your life is truly free, is truly secure. So hang on the line. Christian's going to pick up. We're going to gift you every dollar to help coach you through this. Exactly what we did on air. It's going to do that 24/7 in your pocket, giving you recommendations, a personalized plan to help you out of this mess. You call us back if we can help once more. Hey guys, you know those too good to pass up holiday promos? Well, they can be great, but with every spin of the digital wheel, the newsletter sign up, the coupon code, you're giving away your data. You think that info just stays with the store? I doubt it. It goes into the corners of cyberspace where data brokers grab it, repackage it, and sell it to spammers, scammers, and generally bad people. The FTC just reported consumers lost over $12.5 billion to fraud last year. And that's not just a number. That's your money, your time, and your privacy. And that's why I recommend Delete Me, your digital cleanup crew. The Delete Me privacy pros dig through hundreds of these data broker sites, they scrub your info, and they keep it gone, which means fewer weird robocalls, fewer spam texts, and it's the gift that keeps on giving because it's an annual subscription. And Ramsey listeners can get 20% off those annual plans at joindeleteme.com/Ramsey with code Ramsey at checkout. Do it today. That's joindeleteme.com/Ramsey, code Ramsey. Welcome back to The Ramsey Show in the Fairwinds Credit Union studio. I'm George Kamel, joined by best-selling author Dr. John Delony, and it's open phones at 888-825-5225. Give us a call. We'll do our best to help you take the right next step for your money, your relationships, and your life. Kate is in Charlotte, North Carolina. What's going on, Kate?
Hey, how are y'all today?
We're doing great. What's your question?
Good. I have a question about paying for potential funeral expenses for an estranged father. So we haven't really...
Is he still with us?
Yes, he is.
Okay.
He's 65 in not great health, so I would expect, obviously, sometime in the future. But
Well, even if he was in great health, you could expect some time into the future, right?
Yeah,
For all of us.
It's coming for all of us.
Exactly. I'd just like to get ahead of the curve before anything catches me by surprise. He's really not of the means to pay for anything himself. Won't have any kind of an estate or anything like that. My siblings won't really have any means either, and so I feel like it's going to fall on me. But with not really having a relationship more than an occasional phone call, that kind of thing, I'm just kind of curious what my obligations are, and then also what I need to do, because I'm working through baby step 2. I've got about $20,000 more in debt to go, but do I pause baby steps to throw a little bit in savings, or what do I need to do?
Do you struggle, and this is the pot asking the kettle here, do you struggle with anxiety?
Of course.
Yeah. So you've created a future potential problem, and you've dragged it back to today, and you're trying to solve it today.
Mm-hmm.
As one amazing young man at my church once said, this is a problem for future you right now.
Okay.
Like financially, okay? Like the financial, like if he drops dead tomorrow, God forbid, I hope he doesn't. If he does, then we'll solve that problem tomorrow. But right now, you're in your own emergency, which is I got to get this stuff paid off.
Mm-hmm.
The second thing I would ask you is, where does the word obligation come from? Because that can be a legal question, like who pays for the burial here for a guy that I don't want anything to do with. But I hear you asking more of a character / spiritual / moral question.
Yeah, it's definitely more of a moral side.
Okay.
I don't wish any ill will toward him,
Sure.
But
so ask yourself this question, and this is a haunting question. Who do you want to be? And you get to answer that however you want.
Okay.
And what I mean by that is I want to be a person who, even if somebody treats me like crap or whatever, I'm going to go do this. I'm going to call this the next right thing, which is I'm going to pay for as inexpensive of a burial as I can, but I'm going to show dignity and respect, and I'm going to go on about my life. Or I want to be a person who holds people accountable to how they treated me. And so you don't want anything to do with me. I'm not going to have anything to do with you. Or I want to be a kind of person that lets them have it. I mean, I can go on for days, but you have to ask yourself that question and then reverse engineer the actions that are going to get you to the identity that you want to see when you look in the mirror.
Okay.
Okay. And I wish it was more complicated than that. And I know it's heavy.
Yeah.
It's simple, but it's really hard, right?
If this funeral happened, who would show up?
There might be a handful of people.
Okay. So we can limit this. This isn't going to be a big thing. We can limit the cost of this, keep it as simple as possible. And whoever signs the funeral agreement is going to be liable to pay. And so I would try to get some agreement on that before that day comes so that it doesn't add stress to the grief.
Or you can cremate him. I mean, there's any number of paths you can take here.
Okay. I'm almost hesitant that if I bring it up now, then everything would fall on me and there would be no cooperation from at all.
If you're asking that right now, then you know that's what's going to happen now, 5 years, 10 years, 15 years from now. You know that.
Yeah.
And so worrying about trying to solve that in the present is not a good use of your time or energy because you can't solve it.
What's your timeline to get out of debt?
I should be out of debt in the next 12, 18 months.
It's amazing. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And then beyond that, you've got an emergency fund, and I would start saving up knowing that there might be $3, $4, $5 grand on the line that I might need to pay to cover this expense if no one else chips in.
Or I'm going to be a person that's not going to cover other people's stuff, and so I'm going to go on about my life. But you're going to have to look yourself in the mirror long after he's gone.
Yeah.
Right?
And in the grand scheme of life, going, man, I hate that I spent $3 grand. Or you go, you know what? I don't regret it. Yeah, it wasn't a fun thing to pay for. It didn't solve any family dysfunction.
But I did the next right thing for me.
Exactly. And so either way, I would make peace with the decision and not role play this in your head, letting it live rent free. That will just consume you.
Because you have a bunch of imaginary conversations with people, don't you?
Of course.
Yeah. And then she said, and then I said this. And then you always get like the mic drop moment, right?
And you might be right. It might play out exactly like that.
But 99% chance, no way. It feels like, I remember Brene Brown said this and I loved it. She said, we spend a lot of time dress rehearsing tragedy. We spend a lot of time imagining what would happen if the worst case thing happens and how we're going to respond and how we're going to be the hero and how nobody's going to... And what that does is it serves as a Xanax to us dealing with the problems that we have in our life right this minute.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just a way to distract yourself. It's like TikTok, except in your own mind. Scrolling. And so just knowing that rumination never solves a problem. And as a ruminator, I know that's easier said than done, right? I'm like, just don't eat the cookies. And I'm like, but I have to, right? Right? So I get that. But yeah, George is right. If you're asking what we would do in our personal life, George, as a strange parent,
I would just save up and pay it.
I'd put $3,000 or $5,000 aside, and I would say I want to be the kind of guy that buried his father, and I want to be that guy. But that's for me, right? And I don't know your
it's not like I'm better than someone because I'm doing this. It's just this is the simplest route to get through this is for me just to deal with it versus getting angry at everyone in my life and saying, why aren't they chipping in? I knew they wouldn't chip in. Well, then you just drank the poison.
Yeah, and hope they suffer for it, and they're not going to.
So you might decide it's easier for me to just suck it up and pay $3,000 than it is for me to make 7 phone calls that are going to ruin my month.
Yeah.
And then ruin 9 Christmases from now.
Because I'm guessing you don't have a great relationship with many people in your family.
Not my biological family, no.
Okay.
There tends to be a ripple effect there. And I'm sorry you're dealing with that. And that's at the root of all of this, is you're frustrated. You're sad. You need to grieve the fact that you should have a relationship with your family. Like, that's crazy to not be able to have a healthy relationship with your biological family, and yet that was taken away from you for things that were out of your control, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, be heartbroken.
And then this is just a reminder of that.
Do the scary, impossible, right next hard thing. So if you're at, George and I would probably get through that $20,000 as fast as we possibly could, and we would save up an emergency fund for 3 to 6 months. I am an anxious guy, so I like the 6 to 7 month emergency fund. And inside of that would be the money I needed to bury somebody that I'm estranged with, but that I think is the next right thing to do. That's the path I would
And if it happens before you're debt free, just pause the debt snowball, save up as much as you can, as fast as you can, and get through this. So sorry, Kate. The last thing you need this holiday season is more stuff collecting dust or tech that keeps you glued to screens and up too late. You need better sleep, and that's what you'll get with Casper. Their mattresses are made for deep, uninterrupted rest that keep you cool and comfortable, so you wake up feeling ready, not wrecked. Because rest is not a luxury, it's an investment, and the ROI is your well-being. So go to Casper.com/Ramsey and use promo code Ramsey for 25% off mattresses and 10% off everything else. You get free shipping too. That's Casper.com/Ramsey, promo code Ramsey. Exclusions apply. Megan is in Tulsa up next. How can we help today, Megan?
Hey, all right, so my husband and I are completely debt-free, except for our house. We still owe about $133,000 on this primary mortgage, but we have purchased land and are planning to build a new home. And in discussions with the lender, they have informed us that after we provided all of our documentation and all of that, and the cost breakdown for the build, they said that they were going to require us to take out a second mortgage on our home to ensure that when we sold this primary residence to move into our new home, that we would do a lump sum buy down or pay down on that new construction loan mortgage, permanent mortgage.
Okay, so it's risk management on their side. They're trying to protect themselves.
So, yes, which I understand that, but
I would not do that.
Is that an Yeah, I have no interest in doing that. I'm trying to,
Is this the lender that you currently have a mortgage with?
So, no, but they have looked at our finances, and one of the things that they told us when we first started having this conversation about this new loan, they said they would love our business so my husband and I own our own business, and when we provided our financials and how much our income and what our business is doing, they said that they wanted to court us to bring our business over to them. Like we use a different bank for our
run your business through their
market.
bank.
Yes. And so part of that, I was like, well, that's flattering, but I don't really care what a bank thinks. But then in this new conversation yesterday, they said they want a second mortgage and they're going to require us to do banking with them.
Walk away.
Yeah.
Walk
right?
away.
Okay.
Yeah, they're not the only dog in
Yes.
the fight here. Why don't you just shop around?
Right.
Or can you
Okay,
put pause on
so-
this? Because my guess is they're saying this is risky on our part for some reason.
Well, here's my real
Well,
guess.
where is that
My
risk?
real
That's my other
guess
question.
is that y'all talked to a loan officer at some stature in that bank, and they made you a bunch of promises because they get paid on how many accounts they open. And then when your loan went to loan committee, they said, we think this small business is a risk. We don't think these people have enough cash for this. We've had too many people sell their house on a new build, and they get all the equity, but then they go to Paris for 2 months with that money, like whatever the thing is.
Right.
And so
Right.
I just want to let's pretend everybody's in good faith. The salesman was trying, and the loan committee was like, "There's no way I'm putting this through without a whole bunch of risk
Underwriting
management."
just got their their spidey senses.
But at the end of the day,
Okay.
I'm not going to do business with somebody that is going to force me to take out a loan, and I'm just not going to do that. They're trying to tell you.
I mean, I understand mitigating their risk, but I feel like you're going to make money off of my money that I deposit with my business.
But
and then you're also
it's
gonna
not
make
about
money.
that. It's about they're trying to do business at the expense of you and your husband's value set, and I'm not going to do that.
Right. Well, my other question with that is that an indication that we have over budgeted what we should be?
That was
on
what I
our
was
new
trying to
bill?
get at.
That's my thought.
Is if they're spooked by this, it tells me there's something with these numbers that gives them pause. So that's what I want to ask you. Is the land
Well,
fully
so-
paid off? Did you guys pay cash for that?
Yeah. So yes, but like here's why this was kind of like a frustrating thing. We have a lot of friends who have done this, right? Done the same thing, and they have had to sell their current home, and they during the construction. A lot of people live in a rent house while the home is being built because they need that money, the equity that it is in their current home. Or they put a camper on the land and live there, or build a shop and live in the shop while the home is being built, or all these different creative options. We were just under the impression that we had enough income and we have enough equity that we weren't going to have to do that. So
It sounds like your impression was incorrect. You know what I mean?
well, now I'm wondering. I guess I need to shop around one.
What's this new build going to cost?
So that's the other part. My husband is in the construction industry. He's actually a construction owner's rep. He's done mostly commercial work, but he does this for a living. So he is very kind of prides himself on coming in under budget, which is kind of unusual in the construction world. So he has conservatively estimated our build to be $750 with a 7% contingency. And so I'm wondering if we need to just nail down a more accurate, less conservative, and more just real hard numbers for our
That doesn't matter. I mean, they're gonna come through and say, well, that's cool that y'all think that's what that's gonna be, but we're gonna budget for $1 million. What matters to a bank is how much money are you asking them to loan you?
And how long are they out for it? Because this construction process, who knows how long it could take. Things fall through all the time with these new builds.
Right.
And so there's just a lot more risk with construction loans, and that's why the terms are more stringent, higher rates, all of that, until you convert it to a traditional loan. And so that might mean, hey, we need to pause on this build. We need to stack up more cash. We need more equity in our home. I'm not sure what that is for you that would make a construction lender feel more comfortable with this scenario. But I would shop around, and you can always call our friends at Churchill. They'll give you an unbiased third-party opinion and go, hey, here's what we think, here's what we would do, here's what our current rates are, and that'll at least give you a better picture of what you're dealing with versus this one lender that you talk to.
And can I tell you something
Okay.
crazy? That it's not going to be apples to apples, but I think I might be close. I have a PhD in counseling. People from all over the planet seek and ask my opinion on what they should do next in their marriages and their mental health and whatever. My wife does not. She pays a therapist in Nashville that she sees. And why do I tell you that? Your husband may do this for a living for other people. It may be worth a handshake and a 5% deal to get another GC.
Yeah, we've talked about that. Yeah.
And it may not be the 10% that GCs normally do, and he may owe somebody a favor, and they can high five and whatever. But there's something about being so close to him trying to make his wife's dream home come true on the land and the chickens and the goats and all the stuff y'all have planned that it's going to cloud the reality. And so the greatest gift I can give my wife in our house is not to counsel her ever.
Actually, that's funny you say that, because that was one of our conversations about a month ago. Was we either need to hire an employee for our business, or we need to hire a builder, because we've just had these dreams and plans, and we've had the blueprints and the drawings ready, and we just keep having so much business, which is fantastic, but he's concerned about having the time to build it. So actually, he's the one coming to me saying, I have a lot of peace about just hiring someone to do this.
That is a man that rarely exists in the 21st century. Hug him. Don't ever let him go, and hire somebody.
That's called self-awareness and humility. We need more of that.
Amazing.
Oh, totally. He's all of that. I'm actually the cheapskate trying to save us a buck, trying to feel like, I think we could do this.
Listen, you have married well.
Hire the right subcontractor.
It's worth the 10%.
I have.
What was like? Okay. What's going to be your taxable income for the year from this business for 2025?
So last year it was around $395, and this year we're looking to do about $420.
Incredible.
What's your top line, or is that take home?
That's top line, but we have a very low overhead business. I mean, we basically use gas and computer software stuff. So
yeah, but y'all are depreciating out all of your trucks and your computers and all your equipment, right?
No, I mean, well, yeah, we have 2 laptops and.
What'd you pay taxes on last year? The amount?
$395.
Nice.
Okay, they'd give you $1 million.
What's your current house worth?
$350.
Okay,
about.
So you have a decent amount of equity here, but this money I feel like is newer to you guys, and so therefore the banks are still like, hey, there's not like you don't have $500,000 in equity. So to go 750 is a big number.
We only owe 133 left on our primary, and our plan was to just pay this off.
Yeah, but
while we were building.
But if you're going to meet with a bank and your husband's a surgeon, and you're a surgeon, they're going to say, cool, we see a projection here. If y'all are a small business that does construction, you may do 400 top line one year and 75 top line next year, because that's more like a farming. It's like great years, tough years, great years, tough years. They're going to be possibly more conservative about what they loan you out.
Yeah, but I would call our friends at Churchill Mortgage and get a third-party opinion from them. I think you'll have a lot more clarity after that.
Owning a business can be a heavy load. You want to serve your customers well, make a healthy profit, and grow. And your team, family, and customers are all counting on you. And now everybody's talking about AI like it's magic. And you're wondering how to keep up. You're carrying a lot, but you don't have to do it all alone. That's where NetSuite comes in. Over 43,000 businesses, including Ramsey Solutions, use NetSuite to lighten the load by bringing all their numbers into one system. Accounting, inventory, CRM, payroll, the works. And now NetSuite's AI takes it further, automating busy work, flagging inventory issues, spotting cash flow problems in real time, and catching risks before they hit. So you're not just closing the books faster, you're making decisions confidently. And when your numbers are right, that takes a lot of pressure off your shoulders. And yeah, switching systems is a big move, but NetSuite's Suite Success process gets you up and running fast. Go to netsuite.com/Ramsey for a free product tour and to schedule time with a NetSuite rep. That's netsuite.com/Ramsey.
Are you staying on track with the baby steps? You can take a quick quiz to check your progress and receive a personalized plan just for you. Simply head to the show notes, click on the link titled Are You on Track with the Baby Steps, and complete the quiz. Isaac is in Houston, Texas up next, one of John Delony's favorite places. What's going on, Isaac?
H-Town.
How you doing, guys? I'm Isaac. I'm 20 years old, and I just got engaged about 2 weeks ago.
Congratulations.
So,
right on.
Yeah, so this is more of a emotional, spiritual question, I guess, than a financial one. But so my parents, they're divorced, and I think they're very smart people, but they're kind of against me getting married, and I like to talk to them, take their advice on a lot of things, but I just don't know about this one. They kind of don't want me to get married with the person I am with, and it's not.
What's at the root of this? Is it your age, or is it the person that you are engaged to? They don't see them as a long-term quality person,
or they just both went through hell during their divorce, and they don't want anyone to ever do that ever again.
So it's my age and what Dr. John Delony just said. It's partly they think I'm too young, and partly because they've been through their own experiences.
They think it's a riskier bet to get married this young to this person.
Yes.
Okay.
How old are you?
I am 20 years old. I turned 20 this October.
Okay. And so tell me and George, why do you want to get married? Why is this person the person you're going to be ride or die with for the rest of your life?
Well, we've been living together already for about 6 months, and I know it goes against your guys' advice, but yeah, that's what we've been doing.
Yeah, but that's like 6 months. That you didn't answer my question. You just told me a thing you're doing. Why do you want this person to be your ride or die for the rest of your life till death do you part?
Well, she's just a great person. She takes care of me well. She's, very, even though we're not married, she's been acting like a really great wife, and is just the person I see in my future.
How long you guys been together?
About 2 years. It's been a little bit over 2 years.
And how old is she?
She's about to turn 21.
Okay. And do you guys have you just got engaged. When do you plan on getting married? How long is this engagement going to be?
Not too long. We wanted to get married before the end of the year, actually.
What's the rush?
What's a rush?
Not necessarily any rush. It's just we've already been together. Like, we've been living together, and we kind of wanted to already, be together. And we kind of, it seems to me that we've already kind of been engaged, but not really. But
so here's several things I'll throw at you, okay? And I'm in the middle of working on a multi-year project on this question: is marriage still worth it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and here's what I'll tell you: the data is pretty clear, and I know there's some conversations about causal versus correlation and yada yada. Couples who are in good or great marriages, every facet of their life is better.
Mm-hmm.
Financially, health-wise, emotionally. Their kids who grow up in the home of married parents who's and they're actually broken the data down from married to cohabitating, all of it. Everything in your life, you'll have more sex. Everything in your life will be better.
Mm-hmm.
And if you are married not well or poorly, every part of your life is worse.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So it's one of those things that I feel myself screaming from the rooftops. Everyone needs to do this thing and do it well. And we have a culture that has sold us that the worst thing we can do is limit our options. And I would say the freedom that most people are chasing when it comes to getting money, getting fame, getting seen, having quote unquote a bunch of options is found in commitment, but only in commitment done well. Why am I telling you all that? Your parents' lived experience is real.
Mm-hmm.
Their health was ripped apart. Their psychology was ripped apart. Their money was ripped apart. They watched their kids get splintered up. Their experience is real. And so when they tell you, you shouldn't do this thing because we tried it and it blew up our home, that's a real experience, and I want to honor that.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to tell you that I hope for your sake, for your kids' sake, for your wife's sake, for the world my kids are growing in, I wish more people like you would have a mind towards being married, okay? And figuring out how to do this thing well. Okay?
Yes, sir.
I will tell you this. You have a very limited toolkit right now.
Mm-hmm.
And if you think being married is, well, it just kind of feels that way, and we've been 6 months, you are going to get smacked right in the nose by reality.
Mm-hmm.
If you go into this thing saying, we're going to need help from every loving adult in our life on how to do this thing well, and I'm going to have to learn new skills. I'm going to have to learn how to say I'm sorry. I'm going to understand that 5 years from now, I'll be married to a totally different woman, and she'll be married to a different man because we're going to grow. If you can go into it that way and seek intensive premarital counseling to have conversations about budgets, etc., then I would say if my son was 21, he came home and said, Dad, I met the person. 5 years ago, I would have said, bro, don't do this. Wait till you're 25. Live a little. I would change my tune now after looking at all the data. I would say, this is the greatest, most important decision you're going to make. I will support you every step of the way, but you have to go into it very humbly.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I think your parents are right, and I want you to do this thing.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying? Both are true.
Yes. Okay, yeah.
So tell
I
me, I think I would tell you, just as a guy who just met you, I think this is too fast to try to cram this in before the beginning of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Only because you're telling me, well, it just feels like we've already been doing it, so we might as well. That's a terrible reason to enter into a lifelong till death do us part ride or die commitment.
Yeah. What I'd like to add to that is I was thinking about it already for a longer time, even before we moved in together. But I was, I've lived with my parents and my whole life. They've been telling me, that marriage is a scary thing. And so I was scared of it for a long time. And I just kept listening to your guys' show.
I know, but listen to me.
Sorry.
Just because your dad was a boxer and he got knocked out and told you to be scared of boxing, just because you suddenly think, I'm not scared of boxing anymore, does not mean you should get in the ring without a bunch of skills.
Okay.
I would love to see you. I'm glad that you're interested in getting in the fight. I need more men getting in the fight, but I also need more men to get in the fight with skills. I would much rather see you say, I want to formally propose to you, and we're going to get married in June, and we're going to start premarital counseling January 2.
Okay.
So that we're on the same page with our money, with our values, with our whatever. We begin having those hard conversations, because here's what you're going to have to do. You're going to have to do marriage totally different than your parents did.
Mm-hmm.
And that's going to be a challenge, because when you get the first fight, when you get the first lost job, you get the first car that breaks down in the middle of the Beltway there in Houston, you're going to open your toolkit, and the tools in there are going to be the ones your parents put in there by their marriage.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So, Isaac, it's less about a specific age. It's about alignment on values. And the truth is, from 18 to 22, I didn't know my values. I didn't know myself. And so that's the part that we're encouraging you to dig into for yourself and for her, to make sure that you're aligned on family, kids, in-laws, whatever it is, politics, how are we going to raise family, what are all the decisions and the filters we're going to use to do this? Because that's the part where it's going to bite you in the butt down the line. We go, oops, I just like the PB&J she made me. I never thought to ask about XYZ over here. And in the early stages of any relationship, man, it is just gumdrops and rainbows. I remember I didn't fight with my wife for like the first year and a half we were together, and I was like, this is a match made in heaven.
My wife and I barely made it 2.5 weeks before we were like, yeah, we screwed this up. Like, so every couple's different. But as George said, I think even beneath, are we aligned on politics, whatever? My wife and I aren't. We're not aligned. We go to the same church, but we have different beliefs about stuff, and I think that's awesome. It took me 15 years to learn how to share a home with somebody that we had the same values, but we had different beliefs. Mm-hmm. And so I want you to get in and you start learning some of those skills and go into this thing humbly. So, I hope you get married, dude. I really hope you do, and I hope you go change your whole family tree. And before you do that, I hope you get a bunch of skills along the way.
And a lot of premarital counseling. I'm going to gift you Financial Peace University to help you with the money side. That's some of the best premarital counseling you can get when it comes to finances. So hang a line. That's our gift to you.
If you've got collectors breathing down your neck and you're drowning in credit card debt, you don't need another debt relief company trying to sell you sunshine and unicorns. You need real help. And Guardian Litigation Group is the real deal. They're not a call center. They're actual attorneys. That means when a creditor tries to sue you, they can step into the courtroom and fight back. Now listen, debt settlement isn't pretty. It's not a magic wand, and I'd prefer you get out of debt the old-fashioned way. But if you're staring down bankruptcy and you've got no other way out, Guardian gives you a path to clean up the mess without paying a dime up front. Guardian's attorneys have helped over 55,000 people across the nation settle over $600 million of debt. So if you're ready to take back control of your life and stop cringing every time the phone rings, go to guardianlit.com/Ramsey. That's guardianlit.com/Ramsey.
Paid endorsement, attorney advertising, Guardian Litigation Group, LLP. Not available in Minnesota and Oregon. Results vary and no specific outcome is guaranteed. Debt settlement may negatively affect credit and not all creditors will negotiate or settle. Savings vary and may be taxable. Please review our website terms for more information.
Our question of the day is brought to you by YRefi. Defaulted private student loans don't just disappear, but you can take back control. YRefi offers low fixed-rate refinancing that gives you hope and a clear path forward. Go to yrefi.com/Ramsey to learn more. That's the letter Y, REFY.com/Ramsey. Not available in all states.
Today's question comes from Marissa in Illinois. Marissa writes, I'm a stay-at-home mom and love having that role in our home. But in our marriage, the root of all of our arguments and problems is money. I'll admit it. I like nice clothes, makeup, shoes, and purses. I love going out and getting coffee. We own our home but want to make some renovations, and my spending has gotten in the way of making that a reality. I've always been a spender, and before I got married, my dad would put money in my account when I didn't have any. My husband would like to keep my personal expenses under... My husband would like me to keep my personal expenses under $2,500 a month, and I know it's doable, but why is this so hard for me?
Wow. I see two things here. One is an addiction, and the second is enabling from dad, and now she's putting that on the husband. This is your role now, to put the money in my bank.
Well, I don't see it as much as she's saying, like, my husband's given me a reasonable allowance of $2,500.
He seems like he's very level. He's going, well, can you do it under $2,500? And she's like, we'll see.
Yeah, I think so.
That's some people's entire budget. All
Right.
of their expenses, they fit under that.
Yeah. So, Marissa, my tune has changed on this the last few years. 4 years ago, if you'd asked me this question, I would have thought it very important to dig into the root of your spending addiction, the root of why you can't keep a budget, why you are struggling financially and you're having disagreements, except you keep spending money on purses and shoes and things like that. I'm changing my tune on that. I think if you want to make a behavior change like this, the best way right now for you is to act your way into changing your life. What do I mean by that? Before you get an answer to, quote unquote, why is this so hard for me? Stop spending money. And what do I mean by that? Get rid of your debit card. Hide it. Put it in a safe. Give it to your husband. Tell him to take it to the office. But stop spending money. And when you feel that discomfort, feel it. And have one or two things that you promise yourself, make a commitment that you're going to go do when you feel that discomfort. When you begin to say, I need to go buy some shoes, you don't. You got all the shoes you need. I'm going to go for a walk. I'm going to go call a friend. I'm going to have a set of actions that I go do. Because I'm finding people, George, who spend all of their time, why? I need to go see another therapist for 5 years. I need to go do another personality exam. I need to go to another silent retreat and all that. All that stuff's good. But it's 1 year, 2 year, 5 years, 7 years, and the same behaviors are just hanging around. And I'm becoming more and more convinced, both through the data and just walking with people the last 4 or 5 years, the greatest gift you can give your body is the lived expense of A, I didn't spend any money last month and I didn't die. B, I didn't spend any money the last 6 months. And I say any money, you know what I mean? I didn't buy any new shoes, any new purses, any new guns, any new whatever. And I've had to deal with the root of that issue, and that's worth spending the money on for various things. So if you have a chemical addiction, obviously you got to go to rehab or whatever. But Marissa, I want you to put up some insanely high hurdles that make it borderline impossible for you to spend money right now. Have that level of discipline.
Which means deleting the apps off your phone, removing the card info from everywhere you can find it. Or take the phone
and get rid of the phone. Get a flip phone. I'm talking about being caustic.
Yeah, I'm guessing a lot of this is happening while scrolling.
Yes.
And so that could solve a whole lot of problems.
Create some rhythms and routines where you go hang out with other stay-at-home moms throughout the week. So you're not just sitting at home in a box by yourself, scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. But yeah, if it means getting a flip phone, get a flip phone. And if you find yourself like, oh, if I don't have social media, I got no human or AI interaction at all, great. Then that's the tension's that doorway. Go into that tension and go find some friends. But you have to put some serious hurdles in front of you so that it purifies what the real problem is. It distills it down, and now I got to go solve that.
Yeah.
My guess here is she's, like you mentioned, Dad always solved it, and she's probably incredibly lonely. Would be my experience. Would be my guess.
And I think there's a root cause of all of this.
Another thing out there is going to make me okay.
Of like, why another outfit?
Yeah.
Because my wife stays at home. She wishes that she could even have the time or energy to put on clothes and go somewhere, like nice clothes, full makeup, the purse, the shoes. So this is impressive enough that can accomplish this, but the budget is going to be the key here because you guys clearly don't have one. Because you're saying, hey, my spending is stopping us from saving up for renovations. Well, the makeup money should not be renovation money. We need to separate all of this out in a budget. You can download EveryDollar and make a line item for Marissa that says $2,000 Marissa fun money, whatever. If you guys make $20,000 and that's how you want to spend your money, go for it. But then we need another line item for renovation sinking fund, and we put $2,000 a month into that account. So that there's $24,000.
I would say the first 3 months, make that $200.
Really
it's for a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
Right. And really challenge yourself on what is this drive that I have to fix this momentary feeling of I'm not enough or I'm bored or I'm scared and I'm going to go buy something, click, buy, click, buy, click, buy, click. Because she's already moved on before the shoes even arrive.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Because it's not about, she didn't actually want that pair of shoes.
No,
it was a
it's
dopamine
that build
hit.
up, the build, and then boom.
If a box doesn't show up at the door, I can't feel anything that day.
Well, I don't even think this is about the box showing up. I think it's about hitting the button.
All of it. The whole experience.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Put some really high hurdles in front of yourself.
Yeah. And for anyone working the baby steps who wants to hit their money goals, EveryDollar is the best tool to do it. You can track your progress, get personalized recommendations, and coaching for your situation that will help you free up more money to work the plan even faster. You can start EveryDollar for free by downloading it in the App Store or Google Play. Danielle is in Vancouver up next. What's going on, Danielle? How can we help today?
Hi, I'm super nervous, but my question is, are we foolish to consider moving provinces for what we would consider a good financial gain and freedom to do the things as a family now?
That's a pretty good pitch.
Why
what
is
does
that
it
foolish?
involve?
Sounds awesome. What are we missing?
Okay, so my family is here, most of them. And so we would be leaving my family and actually my husband's family here for a province where we have friends but no family.
For some people, that would be the greatest, healthiest thing to do. And for some people, that would be a nightmare. So you have to ask yourself that.
Yes, and I feel like my husband's good to go. It's me. I come from a really big family, and we've had...
How far away is
my
this?
siblings are here. So at BC to Alberta.
Okay, what's the driving
over.
distance?
If
you were to visit,
10 to 12 hours.
Okay,
so
reasonable.
That's
like
how far it is from
2 or 3 times a year.
Yeah, and when we moved from my whole family and my wife's whole family live in Texas, all of them. And so when we moved across the country to Nashville, across the U.S. to Nashville, we built into our life, for this to work for us, we've got to have this many trips back a year, and we have to save that amount of money.
Right. That is something that I have put in there with my husband that we would want to do.
Okay.
What's your question?
So, do we pull the trigger?
You've got to be a big kid on this one.
What are the implications here? I mean, are jobs, housing, like what's going to change?
So it's cheaper. So job-wise, my husband's a nurse, and I'm currently not working. We just had a baby last year, but I'm currently not working, and I would not be able to do my job full-time. I'd have to drop down to casual or part-time.
Okay. Do you need the family support around your new baby?
Well, in order for me to work full-time, yes, or we would have to have a nanny.
Okay, can I throw this at you?
Yeah.
Anytime I'm faced between an either-or decision, I always force myself to put 3 or 4 new options on the table just for fun. Can I throw a third option for you?
Okay.
What if y'all just made a 24-month agreement? We're going to try this. A 12-month agreement. He's a nurse. He could easily get a job back in the old province. Y'all could get another place back in the old province. You'll be fine. You're making this into a forever move, and that the weight of that decision is daunting. What if you just said, all right, let's go do it for 12 months. Let's try that. But that's just a thought.
It's reversible. It's not fatal, so go for it. And if you hate it, you can always come back home. And so I would sit down, make the budget, make sure the numbers make sense.
And every decision comes at a cost. You're going to lose some stuff, and you're going to gain some stuff.
Welcome back to The Ramsey Show in the Fairwinds Credit Union studio. I'm George Kamel, joined by my co-host, Dr. John Delony. The number to call is 888-825-5225 if you want to join the show. Kenna is in Denver up next. What's going on, Kenna?
Hi there. I just have a question, looking for some advice. Should I prioritize going to school now if I ultimately want to be a stay-at-home mom?
How old are you now? What does now mean?
I am 24. I just got married a couple months ago.
Congratulations.
I do have a bachelor's. Thank you. I do have a bachelor's degree already, and I was planning on going to physician assistant school, but now after just talking and the expense of that versus something else like nursing is kind of where I'm going down, with the route I'm going down now.
So let me ask you a crazy question. Can you afford nursing school right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so.
Afford as in you could cash flow the whole thing without delaying or derailing other financial goals.
Yeah, I guess that's kind of where I'm like stuck, because my husband does have some student loan debt as well. From undergraduate, he has about $40,000 because we have about $40,000. But I could go to nursing for about $20,000.
I would. This is me, and George may disagree. So this is just me. I would do that.
Yeah. Okay.
And what is the upside for you? What got you thinking, man, I really want to go back to school, pursue this?
Yeah, I always imagine myself doing something more. I wish I would have gotten a nursing degree before, but that's neither here nor there. I just want to do more. I'm a medical assistant now. I just want to be more involved with patient care. And, of course, I do want to be a stay-at-home mom, but then eventually the kids are going to be gone, and that part of our life is going to be over in terms of them being in the house. I just figure now is better than later.
I've spent my career working with some of the most amazing, brilliant women in the world.
Yeah.
And I have been stunned by women who I figured I would be working for, or I was working for, right? Or about to, and suddenly they're like, no, dude, I had a baby. I'm out of here. And I'm like, what? Mm-hmm. Really? And I've been stunned by the people who are lifelong dedicated. I mean, stay at home mom, and they're at home 6 months, and they're like, no, not for me.
Right. That's what I worry about for sure, too, because, of course, I don't know that life yet.
And can I give you one other ugly, just reality, just because you called me? Is that cool?
Definitely.
My wife and I had some very clear plans on having a family.
Mm-hmm.
And my son took 3.5 years, followed by miscarriage 1, 2, 3, and then my daughter came.
Mm-hmm.
And so we had very clear plans. We got our doctorate degrees, we had our careers, and then we were going to start doing this next thing, and it did not work on our timeline.
Right. I worry about that too.
And I would love for you to do the next right thing for you right now in this season and keep your amazing options and plans open. And if you want to be a stay-at-home mom, you need to get your student loans paid off. You got to cash flow nursing school. You got to do that stuff in the right way so you can prepare for a life with one income because that's your values. And also at the same time, be honest about it may not happen on our timeline.
Right.
Or it may happen tomorrow, right? Like, but I don't want you to wake up in 10 years and say, well, I've been waiting for this thing to happen. Right?
Yeah, totally. And I guess, that waiting, it's like either wait to have a family or wait to go to school. And that's kind of where I'm at. Like,
what's your current total debt load right now?
Total debt load is $40,000. That's all student loans.
Is that including his though?
That is, that's only his. I don't have any student loans.
Okay. I'm just wondering,
so 40,000,
if you cleaned up if you almost planned like, hey, we want to plan to have a family in the next year or two. We're going to plan to just kind of get a clean slate financially. We're going to work on knocking out his debt. I'm going to continue doing what I'm doing versus going further, in the hole or trying to cash flow this while keeping the debt around. And then you get down the path and you go, okay, now I want to stay at home. But now we're too deep in this. So I just don't want you to get to a point where you're at this weird crossroads and you have to give one thing up for the other.
Right. Yeah. And I guess the other part to it is that we did get some wedding money and we are able to save my entire paycheck. We do have enough money to pay off the loans cash right now.
Do it today. Today.
Okay.
Because what you're calling about is I want options, and becoming debt-free faster is going to give you more options.
Okay.
Not holding on to the money for when some random day comes.
Not doing anything now.
Because if you free up that debt, well, now we can cash flow and save up $20,000 to cover this program pretty quickly, couldn't we?
Right. Yeah. It would.
And then how long is the program?
6 months. It's 24 months.
Yeah, it'd be 2 years. And this is one of those crazy things that people don't think about. If you have a nursing degree and you choose to stay home, you know who the greatest beneficiary of that degree in the world would be? That new baby.
Right. Yeah.
You don't know drama until you saw me see a rash for the first time, and I was like, "Oh, this is it!" Right?
Right.
And I was the one calling my buddies who are doctors and nurses in the middle of the night, being like, "My kid," and they're like, "Oh God, go to bed. You're an idiot." Right?
Yeah.
And so that's a skill set that won't be wasted if you use it for your friends and family or if you use it professionally. It's an amazing skill set to have.
Right. And it just seems, I don't know. I'm convincing myself more and more every day that it's better over, PA, you can make more money eventually, but the debt load is so huge, and I just don't think it's right for where we're at right now.
And I love that thinking.
And it's not like you can't go pursue this 2 years from now. It's not going to disappear as an option.
Yeah.
And I think you'll have a lot more clarity 2 years from now. So there's nothing wrong with delaying it. I'm sort of team let's delay it if you're gung-ho on, hey, we want to try to have a family now.
Right.
And I have a lived experience of George had a baby. I don't want to be weird. They got pregnant fast. We did not, right? And so my plan just wasn't in the cards for a while.
Yeah.
Right. And also, you can get a semester of nursing school in that you've paid for in cash, and then take a leave of absence to have a baby. That's no big deal.
That's true. I hadn't thought about that either.
So here's the crux of it. Whether you delay it, whether you do it now, I would get out of debt completely and only do this if you're going to cash flow it.
Yes.
Put yourselves in a good financial position to where you have options and you have less risk, less stress, because that's always going to help you think more clearly and make the right decision for your family versus, well, we can't do this because we owe people money or we don't have the savings.
Yeah, that's my ultimate fear is everything's open right now, and as soon as you have so much debt, it's like, oh, I actually can't do the things I want to do.
Yes.
Right.
Well, we can't make the decision for you, but I have full faith that Ken is going to make the right one for her and her family when that time comes. And John, it's never been more clear to me that debt reduces your options.
Yeah, and I've sat with sobbing moms who are pregnant, who have to go back to work, and they didn't want to, but they owe somebody money. And I've also sat with people who are like, we can kind of do whatever we want. So we're going to do this for a while. I'm going to try that. I'm going to try this. And that just felt like freedom.
Oh,
right?
yeah. Well, people made fun of us. They're like, why would you pay off your low-interest mortgage early? And then my wife decided to stay home and we went, that's why. It wasn't a financial decision.
Yeah.
It was just an emotional one.
Yeah.
And that's one of the most beautiful things in life, when you can take the financial burden off the table.
And then you can kind of do what you want for a while.
That's invincibility right there. John is in Minneapolis up next. John, welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hey, how you guys doing, man?
Doing great. How can we help today?
Good. I am a 20-year-old. Like you said, I'm in Minnesota. I need some advice. I've got a good amount of money saved up in a Roth IRA that I'm looking to invest, and
saved up in a Roth IRA you're looking to invest. So
it's invested.
Is it in like on the money market side, like in a cash equivalent? Or is it actually invested in something?
Mostly it's just cash. There's a few thousand invested into it. My mom has been helping me do that because she's very knowledgeable about the stock market. So she's invested a few thousand. I'm not exactly sure where, but my plan that I'm wondering is it wise to invest the majority or all of it just into the S&P 500, since that's a historically great return, or is it wiser to, go more diverse with it?
I mean, that diversity is pretty strong. You got 500 of the top companies that you're diversified across. Now it's weighted, so it's not like there's one in each. Apple's going to have more than a smaller company, but the S&P 500 historically has delivered about a 10 to 12% average rate of return over the last several decades. And so do you need to diversify more than that? Our recommendation is across 4 mutual fund types, and this is largely what you'll find in an S&P 500 fund is you want growth, aggressive growth, growth in income, and international. And that basically means conservative, midway, more aggressive, and then we've got the international companies out there. And you're going to find a lot of that already in the S&P 500. So you could do a whole lot worse than doing that. If you just did that, you're going to be a multimillionaire if you consistently invest in that at the age of 20.
Exactly what I want to do, because I do max it out every year. I have been since I was 15, I think.
Wow.
And,
what's your income?
Well, it varies. I'm a business owner, and currently I don't work a regular job, so the income can vary, but it's always been enough for me to contribute that.
At 15, how did you max out a Roth IRA?
I worked at a restaurant.
Like a custodial Roth that your parents had set up?
It was... Yeah, my mom is very helpful with helping me get my money, as it should be. She was very adamant about that from a young age for me.
So do you make $100,000? Give me a ballpark here of what you think you'll make 2025. What will your taxable income be?
If I had to guess, I'm aiming for it to be around $100,000. There's no guarantee yet. I run a landscaping business, so...
Do you invest outside of the Roth IRA, or do you just... My goal is to max that out, and then I'm done investing for the year?
Well, I don't like to overcomplicate things, so personally, I would prefer to just have one source, so have the Roth be my investment, and then the rest of my money is money I can spend on whatever, put back into the business, etc.
Okay. Do you have any debt right now?
No, sir.
Okay. Wonderful. And how much do you have in savings? How much do you have that's more liquid, that's not invested?
I have just over 30,000.
Way to go. Dude, you're crushing it.
Thank you.
So you would
Thank
be
you.
in what we call
I-
baby step 4. You're completely debt-free. You have a fully funded emergency fund, and now you're able to invest 15% of your income. So let's say you made $100,000 for easy numbers. We would say invest 15% of that into tax-advantaged retirement accounts. So $7,000 is the contribution limit for the year. So what happens after that? What you're telling me is I just sort of do what I want with the rest.
Exactly. I mean, I don't like to be a big spender. I'm not
good
buying things I don't need. I mean, I do spend a decent amount of money a month on a credit card, which I pay off every month. But most of this is gas, and it's business related, or it's food. So, basic things.
Do you live with your family right now?
Fortunately, yes, I live with my dad, and that allows me to be able to save this money.
What's the long-term game plan? Are you going to continue running the landscape business into your 20s, 30s?
Yeah, exactly. So ideally, yes. I haven't written out a specific plan, which I should, but in the next couple years, I'm looking to grow it like I have been and eventually get my own place. But I'm kind of it's like with the investing, I'm willing to invest all of that money in the Roth IRA, because that's.
I'm telling
right
you, John,
now,
you can't. There's contribution limits. So what I'm telling you is once you go above and beyond that, you can find there's other avenues to invest in a tax advantage retirement account. One would be something like a solo 401k. You could open that as a business owner if you're the only employee. And so there's other options I want to encourage you to invest in so that you can build more wealth versus just going, well, I'm going to do the Roth and that's it. And so I'm going to get you a investing guide. It's completely free. Go to RamseySolutions.com/guide and download that, because right now I see a guy who works really hard, who has a great savings muscle, but doesn't have a lot of clarity on what he's doing and why he's doing it. And I don't want you to invest in things you don't understand. And while I love that your mom has this knowledge, you need to build this knowledge for yourself. And so that would be my next step for you as a guy who has a bunch of money and wants to put it somewhere that it's going to work for him.
Okay, I will do that.
Yeah, well, keep it up, man. If you keep living debt-free and you keep maxing out a Roth IRA, even just doing that, go pop it into our investment calculator on our website. Your mind will be boggled by that. Mike is in Chicago up next. What's going on, Mike?
Hey, yeah, I was wondering, I work 116 hours a week, and I was wondering if
there's that many hours in a week?
What?
Yes.
No,
I'm
for real.
I'm a machine operator.
Okay.
Is that safe to
No,
run the
but
machine
it's
that
awesome.
long? Like, aren't there
we-
legal boundaries around that?
We're not on the road or any CDL, so
Okay.
we're in a
Wow.
private property.
All right, so what's your question, dude? Yeah, private property. We can do what we want. It's America, George. Jeez, let Mike go. All right, so what's your question, Mike?
My question is, I want to make more money than I'm making now, but I don't really have time for side hustles. So I was
What are you
wondering
making?
This year so far, I'm at roughly $273,000.
Okay, and what was the impetus for you saying I need more money?
I'm a collector, so I collect a lot of stuff: comic books, trading cards, cars, autograph stuff, and historic antiques.
Here's what you have to do. You know the answer to this because you're smart. You have to do a different job that you think is going to make you more than $273,000.
Yeah.
There's not a secret here.
And also, is this sustainable to be working over 100 hours a
No.
week? Because if so, your income is going to drastically go down while your lifestyle is going to stay high. So I think we need to reset the picture here and go, what can I do for 40 or 50 hours a week that's sustainable, that pays me enough to live the life I want to live?
And by the way, if your life is going to be judged on, if you judge your life on how many trinkets you have surrounding you, it's going to be a miserable life.
Yeah, I mean, it's just.
So
it's
what
just
do
my
you make?
hobby.
Do you get paid hourly right now, or is it salary?
Hourly.
Okay, what do you make per hour?
Was it 34, 32?
But I mean, this means you're getting, what are you getting, 80 hours a week of overtime?
Just roughly, I think it's what 75 and a half. Yeah.
Gosh.
So instead of making 32, I'm going, what kind of job in the field that I'm in pays 60 an hour or 90 an hour? That way I can work 40 hours a week and live to tell the tale to actually enjoy all these trinkets I've collected.
Or here's another crazy idea. What if, and this is going to be a struggle, you somehow survived on $200,000 a year and you just stopped buying so many Pokemon cards?
Yeah. I don't think we need more money, Mike. I think we need to reevaluate our lifestyle. Everyone needs insurance, but it can be hard trying to find pros who aren't just looking to make a buck and agents who know their stuff. Well, good news. Ramsey Trusted Insurance Pros are vetted and coached to make sure they're market experts who have your best interest at heart. So go to RamseySolutions.com/coverage to find the type of insurance you're looking for and connect with a Ramsey Trusted agent. All right, let's go out to Maine. Karen joins us there. What's going on, Karen?
This call will be recorded.
Oh, good. Karen, thanks for recording. We put this on YouTube.
Yeah, we're recording it too.
You can check this out for eternity.
Hi.
We're also recording for quality assurance purposes.
That's right.
Yeah, well, and honestly, I use this to reference back to.
You got it. What's up?
So if that's okay with you.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, wonderful. I am just shy of 62 years old. I am legally separated from my husband, with no chance of it changing. I do not have a retirement. I do not have a pension or anything like that. I make roughly $42,000 a year. The only thing that I am in debt for is a mortgage. And I have not invested in my work 401k plan because, to be honest with you, I'm scared to death about doing it because I know nothing about it. And they will match up to 3% of what I put in. So this is open enrollment time, and I'm going to invest in 3% so I can get their 3%, because I figured that's free money to go towards that. But I also want to get my mortgage down in about 12 years, if at all possible.
What's left on the mortgage?
Oh, almost all of it.
How much is that?
Yeah.
It started at 80, and I am down to 77.5.
Okay, and at current
rate,
rate,
I've only been paying on it since July.
Okay, and was this a 30-year or a 15?
A 30.
Okay, so at the current rate you're paying, it'll take 30 years to pay this off.
Well, no, not at the rate I'm going, because I'm paying extra on it at every chance I get. So
Okay.
I've paid an extra $2,000 on it so far in the 6 months that I've had it.
Let me ask you this question before George digs into your numbers. Do you have any sort of financial reconciliation as a part of this separation?
No.
Why
nothing. I would because he ruined his business. There was nothing there. Nothing there. We'd only been married at the time for 9.5 years. So when I went into the relationship, I walked in with his home that he prior owned.
Okay.
What I did get when I left was 2 mobile homes that I lived in one for a short time, and I rented out the other one.
Okay.
But with the way people are nowadays, I ended up selling both of those.
Good.
So I have $25,000 in my high yield savings account.
Wonderful.
Right now.
Okay.
So, and I don't touch that at all.
Okay. George will tell you
that's
what to do
totally
with
off.
that money, but this is
Okay.
good. That's good. Okay.
So how can we specifically help you today? What's the main question?
I don't know what to invest in with this 401k, or if I should take that money and just put it onto my mortgage to get it down sooner.
Well, you would be in what we call baby step 4. So you're out of debt, you have money in savings for emergencies, so you're ready to invest 15% of your income into retirement. So 15% of your $42,000 salary, correct?
Yeah, I don't know if I can afford 15%.
Well, you're putting extra on the mortgage right now. Could we divert some of that towards investing?
I could, but then that's going to slow me down to get my mortgage paid off.
Okay, well, here's the thing. If you invest nothing, you're going to have nothing. So we're trying to get you to a spot where you at least have a little nest egg growing for you with some compound growth. Now, we don't have a lot of time on our side anymore, but we're going to try to get this mortgage paid off with anything above and beyond that 15%. But I would not tell you to just put everything on the mortgage you can and don't invest a dime. Because at the end of the day, then you're going to have no nest egg and no mortgage payment.
You're going to be 75 and selling your house.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay. But even though I've got it into a high yield savings, which I only earn 4%.
You will keep up with inflation if you're lucky. And so your buying power is getting lost every day. So the high yield savings at least keeps up with that. But you need to rise above and beyond that in order to actually have wealth, in order to have some extra money, to have your money make money. And so that 401k, it's going to be time to learn what funds are in that 401k and which ones are right for you. And for that, I would get connected with a SmartVestor Pro who can sit down with you and walk you through those options and guide you towards doing something that you've never done before, which is understand what you're investing into. I don't want you blindly picking something because someone told you to. I want you to fully understand, oh, this is what this fund is for. Here's why I'm investing in it.
Okay.
And as a primer on that, you can get our free investing guide at ramseysolutions.com/guide. And that will at least give you some basic information about our retirement investing strategy.
But here's a bummer.
Your picture of retirement is going to look different.
Yeah, and here's a bummer of, this is just us being honest with you because we love you, okay?
Okay.
It may be that at 62, while you're still in good health and your mobility's still okay, $42,000 isn't going to cut it. It may be that I'm working this full.
$42,000 isn't going to cut it.
That means that if you look at the math problem that is your life, and this is taking feelings off the table, this is taking heartbreak off the table, this is just looking at the math problem.
Yeah.
If you need $500,000 to retire when you're 75, it may be that you have.
Yeah, well, I doubt that's going to happen.
Well, you'll surprise yourself.
I'm probably going to have to work till the day I die.
Well, but it may be that while you can still fly around a little bit at a young, sprightly 62, it may be that you make $42,000 and you work another side job on the weekends.
Well, and actually, I am working on a side hustle right now to get that started.
Okay, but side hustle might mean you're investing money into a thing, you're spending money, and it becomes a hobby, and you're going to look up in 2 years. Like, you don't have that luxury right now at 62.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, no, the goal for that side hustle was for me to put it all towards my mortgage to get out from underneath it, because my mortgage interest rate is 6.625.
Yeah, but that's a high interest rate, but historically it's not, and that's just a lot of like social media drama. Like, I want you to focus on the things you can control. Like, what's your side hustle?
Like what?
What's your side hustle?
It's going to be selling things on eBay for my former boss, and I get 40% of whatever I sell.
Okay, I want you to try that for 3 or 4 months and see how it works out.
He's made really good money at it. Yeah, he's made really good money at it.
But I don't want you to put a dime into it. I want him to give you the items, and you take pictures of them, and you deal with the stuff for the 40%.
That's what I'm doing.
Okay.
And track it against your time and what money you actually made from that. Because if it's taking you, if you might do the math and go, I'm making $6 an hour by the time I'm done with this.
You can go to Arby's and double that.
True. Exactly. So just make sure that whatever you're doing is worth your time, and try to get your core income up. Can we make 50 or 60 or 70,000 with the skills and experience you have? And I think you stop betting on yourself at some point in life.
George, can you run through your calculator there, like the Ramsey investment calculator? Can you run through, if she puts 15% of her money, what does that look like at what age?
So Karen, here's the thing. I know you said you don't think you have enough. You need to make this a priority to invest. If you invest 15%, it's about $500 a month, $525. From the age of 62 to age 80, let's just admit we're going to have to work a lot longer than we planned on. With the actual rate of return of the stock market, you would have about $350,000 in that nest egg.
Okay.
Now, if you go to 75, it becomes $180,000. So you can see that the power of compound growth needs time. So those last 5 years really matter. Because at 80, guess what? You contributed about $113,000. $240,000 was just the growth. That was your money making you more money. So the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. We all know that. The next best time is today.
I know.
So don't delay it. Don't say, well, investing's not for me because I haven't done it and I'm 62. If you can fog up a mirror, there's hope for you yet, Karen. So hang on the line. We'll make sure you get connected to a SmartVestor Pro who can walk you through all of this and make sure you get that guide. Listen back to this and let it be a reminder that it's not too late to have a retirement with some dignity. Our scripture of the day, Proverbs 13:20. Walk with the wise and become wise, for a companion of fools suffers harm. John Bon Jovi said, don't get too comfortable with who you are at any given time. You may miss the opportunity to become who you want to be.
Yeah, George.
There's your inspiration, John. Little Bon Jovi.
George. That shot right through my heart.
And you're too late. All right. Danielle is in Miami, Florida.
Good. That was some great.
That was impressive.
I mean, I don't want to say that we're stand-up comics, but that was pretty good stuff right there.
Oh, Danielle, save us. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, thanks.
What's up, lady?
So, I'm facing a metastatic cancer.
Oh,
We're
no.
hoping for the best.
How
But
recently were you
preparing for the
diagnosed?
worst. About 3 weeks ago.
Holy smokes. How old are you?
59.
Jeez.
And my husband is 65, and we have an 8-year-old.
Oh, no. I mean, oh, yay, but oh,
But-
no.
Right.
What's the
right.
time horizon
But,
they gave you?
I'm a planner. I just, like I said, we're hoping for the best, but preparing for the worst. And my husband and I are thinking that he is the beneficiary of my 403B from my work that I had.
Mm-hmm.
And we are thinking he should pay off our mortgage with that, and that will leave him with Social Security and income from a rental property that we own free and clear to live off of.
Can I challenge you on something?
Mm-hmm.
I think this is if this is a way to manage just the sudden chaos inside your own chest, I totally get it. But I don't want him making any plans on how he's going to spend money after his wife or if his wife passes. And here's why.
Okay.
Who knows what that world looks like? I've met people that can't walk back into the home that they were married in because their spouse doesn't live there anymore. And I don't want to tie anybody down to, I promised her, I said I would, we've moved this money already. I want, if you say, hey, you're a goofball and I want to have a plan down just so I can say I check that off my list of things I need to go through because I'm struggling with this diagnosis, I totally get that.
Mm-hmm.
But I also want you to look him in the eye and say, I'm going to hold this with a very loose fist because who knows how you're going to feel after this thing's over. My rule of thumb is nobody do anything for 6 months to a year after their loved one passes.
Okay.
That's my rule.
And do we continue paying tithes during this time?
Continue paying what?
Our tithes.
Your tithe, like to your
Tithes
church?
To our church. Yeah.
I mean, the giving is a matter of the heart, and it doesn't, stop unless if there's a storm in your life where you go, we can't afford this right now, and something takes priority so we can provide for our family. No one would shame you for that.
Yeah.
But if giving is a part of you and that's what you want to do, go for it.
Right.
Don't stop the tithe.
What's the terminal nature of this illness? What stage are you in? How much time do they give you? All that?
We've got some more testing to do.
Okay.
It's a melanoma that we know has spread to my lungs, and our next step is a PET scan to see if it's anywhere else, like the brain.
Okay. So that's a tough diagnosis you got. Yeah.
And I could potentially, if the treatment goes well, I could have a long time.
Sure. That's right. So I would recommend you make a list of things that I'm worrying about and things I can control right now.
Okay.
And the things that you're worrying about, write them on a separate list. Keep them in your phone, write them on a yellow pad, whatever. And once every few weeks, you and your husband sit down and have him smile at you and get you a cup of coffee. And he says, go, let him rip. And you just start piling them up. What if an asteroid hits us? What if the dinosaurs come back? What if Jurassic Park is real? What if the moon landing was fake? Like all that stuff. And what happens? What are you going to do with this fund on this date when I pass away? And then this, like just do that. And then go back to, okay, what can we control today? We can go for a walk outside. We can go play with our 8-year-old. We can take some pictures. We can go to an arcade. We can have some fun. We can go get treatment, whatever. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you currently have a will in place?
We do, but it needs updating because at the time we did it, our son was our foster son, and he wasn't legally adopted yet.
Please do that ASAP.
Yes.
So there are some practical things you can do, like John said. There's some things you can control, and making sure that your will is up to date, making sure that every account has the correct beneficiary on there. Healthcare power of attorney, durable power of attorney for your financial decisions. All of that stuff is important, and you can knock that out this week.
My wife has a folder that has every account, every password, every email account, everything.
Yeah,
and once
I
or
have
twice a
that.
year, she reminds me where it is, and I remind her where mine is, and it's like all the phone passcodes, the Netflix code, all the stuff. And that might be a good thing to start putting that together, just for peace of mind for yourself, right?
Right.
It sounds sooner rather than later, but it's not imminent, right?
Right.
Okay. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's okay. I feel, in a lot of ways, the last 30 years have been a blessing because when I was 29 years old, I went through a bone marrow transplant for leukemia.
Oh, good gravy.
These
Not your
last
first
30
battle.
years have been a bonus,
You've been playing on house money. So have you had a good run?
I have. It's been wonderful. And, this little boy came into our lives, 7.5 years ago, and it's just been the joy of our lives.
You're amazing. My prayer for you is that they come back with some positive news after the PET scan, and they put you on a good treatment, and you get the right surgery, and you've got another long road.
We're rooting for
You're
you, Daniel.
awesome.
Thank you for calling us and trusting us with this. All right, let's go out to Linda in Cincinnati. What's going on, Linda?
Hey, thanks so much for taking my call. So, my father passed away earlier this year, and I've been working through his estate. We're almost done. My mom called me last week and said, hey, in the 1990s, your dad ran up my credit cards. He wasn't providing blah, blah, blah. $10,000, he ran it up. And he always said he would pay it back. Do you think, can you give me that out of the estate? Because he always said he would pay it back. This is a real debt.
Are they divorced?
And I just don't. They never got married.
Okay. How big is this estate?
Medium. Probably our take home will be about $95,000.
So she's wanting a 10% cut to make good on.
Yes.
Wow,
Yes.
That is so wild. I mean, I don't think she has any legal claim to this. I doubt there was a contract. This feels like a handshake, he said, she said agreement from the 90s.
It sounds like drama.
So it would never hold up. But do you like your mom?
Yeah. Well, not even that. You know your mom. If you give her this money, will she just I don't mean to be rude, but will she just shut up? Or will then there's something else come next month and something else come the month after
Well, with
that?
interest, it's really 15, so
Yeah.
I need another 5 now. Like, is she that type of person?
Exactly. Yes.
Okay, then
My
just say
mom
no.
is very manipulative.
Just say
and
no.
She just really showed her true colors.
Enough said.
Yeah, right.
All
Enough
right.
said. Just
Yeah.
say no. Say, I hate that he did
And
that.
she's probably going to raise some hell. She might. Will she come after you with like legal, like sue you for this money?
She has already threatened a little bit of that. She's like, I could put a lien on his property.
Yeah, she seems like the
I was
type.
like,
That's what
Mom.
I was getting at. I'm trying to. Here's what I'm
She can't
grappling
put
with.
a lien on her property.
You could try to pay her off and she goes away, but I think she's going to continue to knock on the door because you give her an inch, she takes a mile.
She's not going to put a lien on the property. Are you selling this property?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, put it on the market tomorrow and just be done.
It's already in contract. We're supposed to close in like a week.
Oh, great. Then just go on about your life.
Well, my question is, as a Christian, I don't know. Is there any kind of middle road? Could I be like, Mom, I don't really owe you anything, but as a kind
This
of...
is between her and a deceased husband.
Yeah,
that she never actually married. So
you don't have a spiritual moral obligation because you don't know if this actually happened, and she's made up crap to you about him your whole life.
This is not a what would Jesus do scenario.
No. This is just, if I give her $10,000, will this stop all the madness, or will it just spark a new fire?
Open a door, and I think it will open the door.